Good morning, all. Uh, very warm welcome to the Startup Connect program. So this is an initiative by Kerala Startup Mission, where we are trying to about a department or a government organization and opportunity for startups to engage with the department, get insights about the requirement and the needs. So we are starting this event, and we are really grateful to have the Smart City Trivandrum and the CEO Arun Vijayan sir for the session today. So, sir, can we start? So let me, on behalf of all of you and on behalf of Kerala Startup Mission, I would like to welcome Arun Vijayan sir for the session and this team for the session. Over to you, sir.
Varun, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll start with the presentation. I can see that almost 30 plus startups have joined us today morning. So I'm thankful of the opportunity given by Startup Mission to address the startups from on behalf of Smart City Mission. So like Varun mentioned, this initiative is a joint collaboration between Smart City Trivandrum and Kerala Startup Mission. So the idea is that Smart City Trivandrum, like all other smart cities, 100 smart cities in India, it has been there for almost 5 years, 5-6 years. We are at a phase where we are looking for startups who can collaborate with us using the platforms which we have developed over the last 5 years, mostly in the technology side, but other ideas are also open. So we want to act as a launching pad for the entrepreneurs who might be willing to associate with us or have ideas which they think might be useful for the citizens of Trivandrum. So again, this is the whole concept. We are right now looking for ideas. The broader areas which smart cities across India focus are these. Basically, anything that comes under the mandate of a city corporation, any city government in India or in outside India, making that smart, those services smart, is the mandate of Smart City Mission. And Smart City Mission Trivandrum, Smart City Trivandrum is focused within the jurisdiction of Trivandrum Corporation. So everything starting from education to health, water and other utilities, service delivery like payments of property tax, birth certificates, automation of offices, any government service which comes under the city corporation's mandate is open to automation or making it smarter for the citizens to have a easier life in the city. So that is the broader mandate. So as part of smart cities, the core idea across India has been to put up a single command control center where all the data relating to the citizen services come to a single nodal point, so as to enable smarter decision making, as well as ensure that all the data is used for better service delivery. So right now, Trivandrum Smart City has put in place the command control center, which has a physical as well as the hardware as well as the software aspects. The servers are in place. The softwares are being developed by the vendor. Our system integrator is Nippon Electric Corporation. They are in the process of integrating different softwares which are already under their ambit. Plus, they have the mandate of integrating the existing services also, which exist outside Smart City or before predates Smart City's conception. There were softwares which were developed by different government agencies, which are ready for integration into the platform developed by Smart City. So the command control center, as the software platform as well as the hardware modules are in place. Some of the modules which involve physical installations, they are going on an incremental basis. Some of them are operational. So this is what Smart City at its core as a technology driven organization strives to achieve. So this is a screenshot of the command control dashboard, different services which has been integrated into the platform. You can see it here, for example, water authority, smart lines, smart meters, environmental sensors, uh, solar, SCADA related information, the street parking, AI cameras related to street parking and traffic cameras. All these come into a single dashboard where the photograph which you saw earlier, uh, that is the command control center where the operators belonging to different departments can get data and maybe optimize the system based on the issues they are able to identify and think that it needs some sort of change in the system. So the reason why we are here, we are discussing and putting out this call to the startups is because we want more ideas to come in, because as citizens of any city, be it in Trivandrum or if you are based out of some other city, what we expect is that there will be startups and entrepreneurs with better ideas, better sense of the problems which are faced by citizens outside the existing mandate of our project. So we need both problem statements as well as the solutions from the startups who approach us, who are willing to collaborate with us. The idea is that the solutions given to you, it might be at concept level, it might not be, you might not have an existing product or a solution right now, but over the course of time, we as a collaborative project with Smart City and the city corporation and maybe to some extent the state government, we will be able to drive those concepts into actual solutions and a product or a service, as the case may be. But at its core, we need you to put citizens of at the core of each problem you are identifying. It might be traffic problem, it might be a health solution, education for children, or maybe senior citizens, the care for senior citizens, anything. There might be multiple angles of looking at how a citizen-centric service should be. So that is where we want you to pitch in. There might be ideas in your mind, or might be you might be developing something already, and we need to make it a financially viable proposition also, in the sense like some sort of revenue generation mechanism or a user fee mechanism can be thought of, where these solutions, once integrated into the dashboard or the command control center, has a sustainability over time. So the dashboard, ICCC dashboard, would be the core of all this operations, and the scalability is another aspect. Right now we are focusing on Trivandrum, but in future the mandate given to Smart City, we have two smart cities in Kerala, which is Kochi and Trivandrum. There is a possibility that the solutions which are developed at city level in Trivandrum or in Kochi might get a rollout into the statewide, all the local bodies, urban local bodies in Kerala, which are looking for similar solutions. The scalability and the upward integration of these solutions and products which you are developing might also be one factor which we might be interested in looking into detail. So the last point, there are already a few existing solutions. For example, if you look at parking, we have developed some solutions. If you look at water meter, there is already a pilot project which is happening. So the services or products developed by you, or the ideas which you have, might have to be compatible with the existing applications, either developed by Smart City or the other agencies which are involved, like Information Kerala Mission or IT Mission or NIC, as the case may be. So from our side, this is what we intend to offer. We have this one city, one app, along with the dashboard, where all the services of the city provided by the Smart City as well as other service providers will be integrated into one single app. So one single app for one city, that is the original concept of Smart City mission. So it will have a single login and a database associated with it in the backend. So once the services developed by you are integrated, hopefully we'll be able to use this data for making better decisions, as well as having some sort of synchronous service delivery. It might be some maybe one of the service provider might be dealing with the logistics part of a service for something like waste management. Another startup might be interested in the technology part of the service like waste management. So ultimately all this can be tracked and coordinated from the single database which we have, and multiple players might be involved in single service. For example, again going back to waste management is such a huge area where like we might require players from different areas to pitch in, maybe cover territorially. Also we'll need 2 or 3 players to have solution service delivery covering different wards of the city. So the strength of smart city is that first time in India, the cities which were selected as smart cities have a platform, a data centric platform with both hardware and the software in place, which can be used for further scaling up and integrating services. Smart city, again, it's a SPV, so it is not a government department as such. It is a SPV with partnership of state government, the central government, and as well as the city corporation. So as an official, as a PSU, we can have the association with various government stakeholders, different departments like health department, education department, or other missions like Shujita mission. So the association with various government stakeholders would be much easier if the energies are channelized through the special purpose vehicle, that is smart city. The infrastructure and the network, as mentioned earlier, is very stable, and we have been testing it for last almost 1 year. So the bandwidth, everything is available. It is just a matter of having the right solutions and right intent to make them useful for the citizens of Trivandrum, which we expect from the players who might want to associate with us. So this is basically what we offer from our side as a player for this collaboration. So these are few areas of the which we would want you to bring in as part of your business plan. So I would hand it over to my IT expert from our consultancy. Camera, please. Mr. Venkatachalam is our IT expert from consultancy. Our consultant is KRL Limited. So he'll explain what we expect as part of the business plan, some of the areas which you can cover or maybe explore when you are reaching out to us.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I'm Venkatachalam, IT head of Smart City, consultant for Smart City. Another welcome to the delegates who are participating in this event. The idea behind this interacting with the startup people who registered with the startup mission is to create an avenue for them and hand-holding them, whatever technology facility you have with you now, and you may be going around and talking to various people to sell your product. In the process, you may face a lot of difficulties in getting the right type of opening for you. So how this can be, you can join hands with the smart city and convert your present ability into a business model. That is the objective of this particular session. You can always interact and have your questions reserved. At the end of the session, we like to interact with you, and we are very open to your ideas also. In this screen, it is first is OFC and connectivity is shown. Basically, we have our own, we developed our own connectivity and fiber media for implementing our smart city identified applications. But again, around 80% of the bandwidth is available for the for utilization for other applications also. Suppose you have your solutions which requires a broader connectivity and good backbone solution, we can offer you probably with an understanding. The costing model we have yet to work out. It will be an evolving model, since as our CEO mentioned, it is a sort of a SP vehicle. we have an mandate to stand on our own. So in the process, we also require to be have earning some amount. With that only the items are given. So first item is OFC and connectivity, which you can make use of that, the understanding of some sharing, revenue sharing model. Again, cloud space, which is available, that whatever our servers are huge servers, which are provided very recently, having a capacity nearly 20 times what we use now. So the space can be given to you for launching your application with your database available. Instead of you go to Amazon and other private parties, you can come to us and have a share in our cloud space, which can be offered to you at whatever may be the cost. Again, MPLS network, the backbone, again, the connectivity for various, as being in a government organization, we have an access to other government vendors also. So that connectivity also naturally you'll be getting those areas access. Again, the fourth item is brand development. Once you are associating with smart city, naturally your brand value will go up. You can market your product in a better way. The fifth point also talks about the market capitalization. What you are doing now, it can be extended. See, we have around 100 smart cities across pan India. All will be looking at us various solutions in their respective domains. Once we develop a facility and provide it on our dashboard, it will reach 100 smart cities across India. So your solution straight away, it will have the approach to all other vendors in other areas of other smart cities also. That is the potential avenue you have. Of course, the smart duct is on a road laying. You can have your own method of providing duct. You can lay it, and we can share the revenue. We will sell the path right of way to other government agencies or private agencies also. That's a concept level you can suggest us. Similarly, the other face recognition technology, if you have, that can be used in various government sectors. And Trivandrum being a very tourist hub as well as medical hub, lot of potentials are available which are untapped now. So tourism, hotels, billboards, these are the areas where you can suggest us also a revenue model, which if you are happy, will accept it at the reasonable costing. And the underlying factor is that being in government, we are very committed to the quality as well as the citizens. We are more focused towards citizens requirement as such. You won't be debating much on the commercial side. So incidentally, whatever citizens require, that area alone will be focusing. The last one is, of course, Twitter and Facebook and other areas are available, which we have our own account. Once you are listed, you are joining hands with us. You can always, your product can be listed on that page, and again the saleability goes up. These are the broader guideline for this slide. And over to our CEO, sir.
This is the last thing which we want to discuss. So this is the expected timeline of this entire collaboration which you are expecting. This is a very stiff deadline timeline which we have made. Right now we are in the month of June. So we are trying to identify the areas where the startups can collaborate with us, because both are the civil part of our command control center as well as the software platform is finally ready to be open to citizens. So we want ideas, the areas where collaboration can be done to be identified by end of this month. July, we'll be expecting that the agencies who we have identified for collaboration and the areas which we have finalized, they'll be giving us the costing, or if it involves a certain sort of tendering process to finalize the entire selection, that we'll be doing it in the month of July. Since it is an iterative process, we might have to go for multiple rounds of selection or discussions on how we are going to go ahead. So parallelly, we'll be also asking or expecting the startups to test and deploy the pilot phase of the packages, so that we have a sense of what we are developing and whether we'll need some changes in the requirements which we are putting for. So August is where we have kept the timeline for final validation of the agency and the approval for the implementation plan. So in August, once we have all this action plan ready, for scaling up, or depending on the service which we have identified, the area which you had identified. August, we'll be expecting you to make it functional beyond the pilot phase, and so that the citizens, at least in the user testing phase, the citizens who are there in the closed group will be able to give the feedback on the solutions developed by the startups. So this is basically the timeline. It's a very stiff timeline, but I am pretty sure that the strength of the startups are good enough to stick to this, and hopefully we'll have multiple players who come in and tell us ideas, concepts, or solutions which they have been thinking of for a long time or have identified in this context, and develop them in this months to come, and we'll be integrating them not just as part of the software and the hardware, but also into the entire governance system of Trivandrum city, so that finally our goal is to make the citizens who are living in Trivandrum to have a better environment and living space in the city. So this is what we have from our side. We can have a round of discussion. Any questions to be, any clarifications which you require based on the presentation which we have made, we can have it right now. But otherwise, what we expect is that the startups who are participating or has been listening to us, we'll be excited to have you reach out to us. The contacts and the email IDs or nodal officers would be shared with you from Startup Mission. So this is a collaborative process which we are starting. This is just the first phase, and we expect the enthusiasm from the startups to be there to make this project successful in the months to come. Thank you. You can close the presentation.
Thank you, sir, for elaborating in very detail about the offerings from startup and also regarding the expectation. I think we can listen to the startups. So those who are for the participants, either you can raise your hand or you can post a question in the Q&A. So we have so Nitin Anil. So I'm allowing you to talk. You can ask the question. Hello, Nitin.
Yeah, hi Varun, how are you?
Yeah, good. Please go ahead.
So sir, what question I had is, so my startup is a startup focused on digitizing waste management end to end. So in case we submit out a proposal to you, you had mentioned that there might be a tender process to it. So how do we know that what process do we have to go? Because when you talk about the Kerala market, there are not many startups who are working on digitizing waste management end to end. So how do we know where to position ourselves, like what workflow to follow?
So Nitin, what we expect is before sending a proposal, yesterday we had an interaction with few of the startups which were selected by Startup Mission, who has an existing product or a service to share with us or collaborate with us. So before going into the details of what would be the mode of selection, whether it be just a nomination process where because we have the flexibility of engaging a startup directly also without a tendering process, but it would depend on the way the proposal is designed, and whether there's a revenue sharing or is it a procurement based proposal. So what we expect is that those startups who are interested in engaging with us, we'll have one more round of detailed discussion one-on-one, as in the team from SmartCity as well as your team, to sit down together and see what the proposal is. We don't want just a proposal on paper. We want to actually listen to you. We would want to ask you questions, in the sense we want to make this work actually. So whatever is the most convenient solution for the startup as well as SmartCity officials, given our procedural requirements, we'll figure out in the process of this discussion. So from your side,
when we talk about the tendering process, what have come across my previous experience, I don't know about the other startup, it is always very difficult to compete with organizations who have a bigger team. So we have been focusing on a product. We have also commercialized a product. It is already running in the Kerala market. So it is a proven product. So now the question is, we have a proven product in hand, but we don't know how to, approach smart city, because this is a very smart solution, waste management, digitizing waste management. So,
Right. There are a couple of things. One is, even if it is a tendering process, we would prefer to have a pre-qualification which would favor the startups or the emerging players, so that this is something organically developed for the city. Second is tender. Whether we would require a tender is not something which we have decided as of now. It would depend on the entire solution which you are providing.
Okay.
So again, we'll have to have a detailed discussion into what sort of service is being developed by you, and the mode of engagement. It will be a common decision we'll have to make based on the details which we'll share.
Thank you, sir. So one last question I had is, we would be deploying our product on the servers under Smart City, right? It wouldn't be on our servers and we integrate it. So
yes, that is the preferable mode of engagement, because at its core, we are also a technology company. So we would want our servers to be utilized for the purpose of serving the citizens of Trivandrum.
Okay.
But if there are better ways of optimizing the solution, we would be open to that also. But as of now, our preferred mode of engagement would be that our servers are utilized for this purpose, so that there is convergence from other services also, because waste management, we wouldn't want it to be a standalone service. Even if we are digitizing, we would, for example, there are a lot of areas which we can explore based on the data which we collect for the purpose of waste management, like the number of people who live in a household, or the
Yes,
area
sir.
of the household. So all this data would be required for other analytics part also, maybe like property tax collection, or the traffic solutions which you are developing. So we would want that data to be there, but the how we handle the data also, that is something which we'll learn over the course of the time once we have engaged enough players.
So one more doubt that I had is, once we deploy these solutions, like how do we, like for in case we deployed it a particular duration and later it requires an enhancement. So would it be us who will again have to continue down the line, or would we have to train a team to do it?
I'm not sure I caught your question. Did you understand? Can you repeat, or like
For
if
example,
you
after
have
service,
understood,
like for example, once we deploy a solution, it would be, for example, a team in my in-house who's doing it. So once it's being deployed, there might be some enhancements to be made, or glitches to be solved. So would it be the team under Smart City who's doing it?
I
Or
think maybe, yeah. Maybe you can answer it.
So regarding maintenance, you're talking about avoidance?
yes, it's a maintenance and for enhancements, like because any system needs to be enhanced. If it is not,
We understand. Actually, basically, that whatever you said, start to end, is very good concept. We are looking at it also. And whatever available in the present system, we would like the agency to get involved in total, and hand-holding to be done for maybe 5 years or beyond that also, based on your performance level.
Okay.
So it will be certainly we'll be looking for a longer term relation.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Okay, thanks, Nitin. So moving on to next question, Biju, you are allowed to talk, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, yes, thanks. Good morning, sir. This is Biju, representing the startup Partners Labs. So it's a privilege to be part of this session and giving an overview of what's the expectation from the entrepreneurs or innovators. Straight away the clarification, sir. I just want to know how, as a startup, we can submit these ideas to Smart City evaluators, or how to channelize it, how to get in touch with you, or how to take it forward. See, given the fact that we are working on clean tech and agri tech, so just wanted to explore the possibilities of engagement with Smart City Trivandrum.
Yeah, so I would ask Varun to elaborate, but because this is again association partnership between Smart City and startup mission. So our channel of engaging or initiating the discussions with the startups would be startup mission. So maybe Varun can elaborate on how they'd be able to reach out to us.
Yes, so what we will be doing is probably very shortly after this meeting. So we'll be circulating and
Varun,
details
the
for
voice is
the.
breaking. Varun, the voice is breaking.
Okay. Am I audible now?
Now it's better. Now it's better.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll be shortly circulating a form wherein actually it will be a web page wherein we'll have the recordings of today's session, the BPT and everything related to Smart City would be available there, and you will be having option to submit your ideas or a product there. Okay. So this will be shared across Smart City based on the submissions that we receive, and this will be further evaluated by the Smart City team. So that's how we are planning to collect these ideas.
Okay, Varun, thanks. I just also wanted to
Yes.
ask one clarification for adding to this, because just before that, the CEO said that there was a round of discussion with the startup yesterday. So how this will be impacting this discussion? Because already have around parallel thread of discussions happening. And other side, you said you will be eliciting contacts with startups. How this should be taken out of?
Yeah, I think I'll add to what Varun explained. So basically, we are having multiple tracks which we are exploring right now. So what we did last round was that those startups which startup mission had identified as having convergence with the existing products or existing areas which startup as Smart City has already done. So few of them included parking solutions or waste management solutions. So those which startup mission had identified, we had a round of discussion. The second track which we are trying to explore is to call for ideas which we have not explored. I mean, the solutions or problems which we have not identified or thought of. That is what we are expecting as an output of this call. But again, I would like to reiterate that you need not have a solution right now in your hand to reach out to us. We are open to ideas in general sense, the broadest sense, as in just a random problem which you might have faced as a common citizen. But from your technology background or the experience of having a technology company, you might have thought of a solution, but might not have had the right interface with the city administration or the government in general to engage. So we outside Smart City scope also, we have seen other departments engaging startups where they feel there is a problem statement which needs to be solved. So few departments have been taking the initiative to reach out to startups. Other departments have not been. But we would like to act as a conduit between the departments. Our first primary focus is anyway local self-government department, as in the city corporation in general, and Trivandrum in general, and other cities. But even other departments which might want to use the solutions of startups, we would like to act as a channel between the startups and the problems which they want to solve. So even just having an idea, we would be excited to have you reach out to us with the just the idea. We would want to listen to you. So yesterday's discussion or the round of discussions which we had has nothing to do, because we have not yet finalized the list of startups or the list of areas which would be engaging any of the agencies. So like I said, that process will go on for at least another 2 or 3 weeks, where we would expect different players to come to us. We'll have a common discussion, joint discussion on how we can engage. Our team is fully going to be engaged on this process for the rest of the month. So we expect as much excitement as which we have from your side. Thank you.
Thank you. So one more thing, so one more point. So from what you said now, say the problem statements can be either identified by from Trivandrum Smart City or from the startups as well, right? No, then.
Yes.
Yeah, and also
We're not limiting to our ideas or our problems. We have a set of projects which we have identified, and our system integrator has been trying to integrate the services which they have developed or have developed beforehand. But what we expect is more things which our system integrator has not come up with, or our team and Smart City has not been able to identify, or maybe other departments have it in their hands as a problem, but have not been able to reach out to a technology provider yet. So anything goes as long as it is feasible technologically as well as financially.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thanks, Vijay. So moving on, Raman, you're allowed to talk. Hello,
Good
Raman.
morning. Good morning, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are. Please go ahead.
Good morning. Good morning, respected sir. So I actually work with ChargeMode. So we are a startup working in the electric vehicle charging sector. So I just wanted to understand how a startup like us can utilize the OFC and connectivity, like sir mentioned, across the smart city, because we already have around 200 plus charge points spread across Trivandrum district. So if we are able to shift, right now we are using multiple M2M connections. So if that is something that we could work on, or we could collaborate, that will be a great help for startups like us who are working in the field with real-time IoT connected devices.
Yes,
That was one.
so I want Venkat to elaborate, but this is something which I have been trying to explore, in the sense we, like I mentioned, the idea is that all the services within the city would be available in this one city app, as well as we'll have a central monitoring system at the command control center. So I think your solution, or the network which you have developed, is ideally placed to be integrated to whatever solutions which we are in the process of making, so that both from the citizen perspective as well as from your company's perspective, it is a win-win for both, in the sense the citizens also would be able to identify wherever they'll be able to access the service, as well as like it will increase your reach to the citizens. So I think maybe you can add.
It's already we are you're at the right place now. Since how many charges you have in Trivandrum, 120 numbers, or across Kerala?
Around 200 numbers in Trivandrum only, sir.
Oh, that's great.
Across
So
Kerala,
see,
around 1,400 we have.
No, see that your charging points as well as the connectivity, what we are doing as a part of ICCC, nearly around 300 to 400 locations, we install our own gadget for some other purpose, like CCTV and allied services, where we have the connectivity already established. So Trivandrum city is basically networked with the this backbone structure, and whatever facilities available, including the charging facility, can be given on the mobile app, which will reach the citizen through our platform. As that is number one. Otherwise, also you can have our bandwidth and try to utilize your services. Having this like this every charging station at this point, how much it is current value, voltage value, how much hour it consumed this day on a dashboard, or last one month how it performed. Those type of data also you can have it on a dashboard using our network bandwidth. And we have software integrators also who are capable of developing such a dashboard, and they can offer it to you, or else you yourself can have a software which will be using our backbone and have the connectivity, through which the citizens as well as citizens will know where are the charging points and how much reach, the timings, the rates, tariff and things. On your side, you will know how your charging stations are behaving, how much efficiently they are being served to the citizens. Have I answered your question, or anything else you have in mind, Mr. Raman?
Understood, sir. I was also having a peculiar question on the specific internet connectivity availability on these locations. If we were able to utilize the internet connectivity via the OFC or something like
we
that.
can be you can share your locations with the maps or whatever it is, addresses. We will make a study on that, and we will provide the connectivity, what is nearest connectivity, or we will extend our connectivity to you, and we will take care of those questions, whatever you require from our side. Both are possible.
Understood. Also, sir, I have one more point, just as a query, like when you mentioned the smart duct system, there are many entities, private as well as public, who are willing to invest and grow the EV charging network in Kerala. But the availability of real estate, specifically in locations like Trivandrum, Calicut, and Cochin, these are the three pivot regions. So availability of real estate, prime real estate in these locations are a problem. So would, if in case, a startup like us is willing to invest in charging stations or charge points, would the startup, the Smart City TVM be willing to share, real estate on a basis of like revenue sharing or something like that? Would that be something that we can look into?
Yeah, Raman, definitely. But since real estate is involved, Smart City doesn't own any real estate in the city. It is either the asset of the city corporation, or it might belong to a department or an agency like KSRTC or Water Authority, where land is available. So we'll have to have an tri-party agreement with whoever is the asset owner, and maybe reach an agreement between them or regarding the revenue sharing or the models where it will be mutually beneficial, not just for Smart City as well as the startup, but the asset owner also. But those modalities we can work out, because for example, we have been engaging with KSRTC and ANERT to have set up our charging stations and other smart bus shelters and all that. So this process which we have been doing across last 3-4 years. We can replicate that for the private players also to come in, but maybe that will require another round of discussion on what is exactly the models or in which you would share the revenue and all that. So that we'll discuss in the next round of discussion in detail when you have the proposal ready.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, Raman. So one question that we have is here is, can you elaborate on the solution you have for parking any app developed?
Parking, can you elaborate on solution?
On solution you have for parking any app developed?
Yeah, I think maybe Rajesh or Venkat can explain. Rajesh. Yeah, this question, the first one.
See, our parking management application, citizens can download and they can choose the location where they want to go. If they are coming to city, they can choose the location. Suppose if they are selecting secretariat, they want to go. Nearby parking locations will be listed, and he can choose the location free availability. It will also be listed in the mobile app. Once he select a free slot, the navigation will be shown, and he can come there and he can park. And parallelly, he can on-site booking, and also online booking facilities also provided. These are the current features available.
Yeah, so I hope the answer is clear. We are the smart parking which we have developed. We have developed for both on street as well as the institutional parking, in the sense of a multi-level car park, or maybe something which is owned by railways or hospitals, medical colleges, or something like that. So at the core of it, we have a smart camera which would be detecting the entry and exit, or maybe the slot occupancy, and that is integrated into the dashboard and the service which we have. So any player who might want to scale up this process, that's what we mentioned in the presentation also. It needs to be compatible with what we are doing right now. We don't want standalone solutions to be there at different places, because ultimately the idea is that the services will be available to a person on a single interface, although the backends might differ on how they are managing the logistics, but in the front end it will be a single solution to the citizen. Yeah.
Okay. So Shashi Kumar, please ask. Shashi Kumar.
Good morning, Thiruvananthapuram. Is it audible to all of you, and also to?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah.
Thank you, Smart City team Thiruvananthapuram. So we are in a startup which is based for making animation, 3D visualization in terms of walkthroughs or exterior modeling or interior modeling, and also in terms of telling stories through. There's a part of Toon's media group which has been in the Technopark for the past 24 years. Absolutely. So we would like to be a part of this as an initiative from our end. So what we have done is one of like the FSCL, that I'm just telling a story that the Faridabad Smart City Limited, they have utilized one of the characters where we have franchised as Chacha Chaudhary, so you may be knowing, and that particular character is emphasized using major goals of the smart city projects like what promoting the smart city project, eco-friendly mobility, or revival of the open green space, reducing road congestion. We have written stories, from by using that particular character, and we are promoted across the Faridabad, smart city limited. Can we, as a part of Trivandrum Smart City, propose something on these kinds of initiatives where we can help promote the smart city to reach across the common people and also to be a part of this initiative?
Yes, Shashimar, definitely that's something which would also be interested in the sense like I think it was already mentioned in the slides also. We are in the process of setting up a network of billboards in the sense of digital billboards where like this has been done in multiple other smart cities as well, where the IEC campaigns run by a city corporation or the departments of the state, they are put on rotation, and so that the visibility of these locations help in citizen engagement to these campaigns, which are say health department or education department or the Shweta mission or something like that is running. So having a character and a brand sort of mascot for the city would definitely help, but we would want more details on how this thing you have done in Faridabad was taken up, and again we'll discuss the details when we have a initial concept note with us. So yes, that is something which can definitely do.
So because this is taken up by the UNESCO part of it, so what we did is the water conservation part of it. We did a campaign throughout the school kids, and we brought in about 27,000 water ambassadors. So these through the campaigns which was done through the app. So basically something similar to this, we will definitely would like to send you more details about it. We will do that, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So what we would like to offer, as mentioned earlier, is that even though it might not come directly under the mandate of smart city to maybe have citizen engagement or campaigns related to awareness of maybe water conservation, there are government agencies which already play a key role in this. For example, if you look at water conservation, maybe Amrit mission under local government department would be the one agency which is doing it, or maybe there is Harida Kerala mission who is doing it. So what we would once we have a technologically feasible solution in our hand, which is proposed by a startup, we would take it up as a joint project and maybe pitch it to the concerned department of the agency, so that not just the solution, but the entire product which you are having, and the agency has a credibility in the sense that we'll act as a player who would ensure the sustainability of the campaign which they would want to run, because and it can be customized to different departments and agencies who might require different approaches to the different campaigns. But since the gestation period would be lesser once we have a technique or a method to actually roll it out on demand of the agency, I think that would be something which the departments and missions and agencies would be interested in exploring. So we'll discuss that in detail once you send the proposal.
So thanks for that.
Moving on to the next. So how much time more do you have?
We can take another 20 minutes, if not more. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, sir. So moving on to the next question. Gia Venmarat. So I have already. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Good morning, all. I'm G. Shwanmarat. There's a spelling mistake there. It is
Yeah.
G.
Okay.
This is
Yeah.
G.
Sorry. Yeah.
Basically, I'm from CDIS Technologies, which stands for Center for Development of Innovative and Sustainable Construction Technologies. And our startup is incubated in NIT, Calicut. And we are developing net zero energy homes. Basically, we are into construction technology, and the industry where we live, we are in, is the major contributors for carbon footprint. Almost 40% of the carbon footprint is contributed by the construction industry. So we are just solving that statement. And especially with respect to Kerala, where the geological situation is very fragile and very disaster prone situation, and we have been already witnessing a lot of disasters back to back and year by year. So we are trying to develop a solution which is completely disaster resilient and which is very sustainable for the construction industry. So we have developed low-rise construction technologies wherein it can be speedy constructed, and the technology can be adopted very locally, and it can be we can ensure that the local construction populace is not changing to any other profession. We can make them retain here. That is also one challenge. So our thing is, no smart city has taken an initiative, especially in Kerala, and outside it is done, taken an initiative to address these issues in their infrastructure. So major investment in the smart cities are going towards the infrastructure development. So can we have a handholding in this area? That is what I want to address.
Yeah, but the issue here is that most of our infrastructure projects, the civil construction projects, are almost nearing closure, unless like we are taking up new projects, as in the original projects which were identified in the DPR. So in case we are taking up new projects beyond the mandate of smart city or existing mandate of smart city, I think we can incorporate the suggestions and the recommendations which you have. But ongoing projects, we might not be able to do it. But again, as part of our mandate, we can always act as a conduit between. It need not be limited to what we are doing. It can be extended to what the city corporation is doing in general, because the city corporation takes up projects on an annual basis. There is always a scope for improvement in the way they design and the sustainability part of it. So maybe we can have an engagement where we act as a, I wouldn't call a consultant, but maybe a advisory role where the recommendations from your side are also incorporated. But the further modes of engagement, I need to really think about, because this is something which I have not come across as of yet. So, but please do send your proposal or the ideas which you have. We'll look into it, and we'll see how that can be channelized into the city corporations general course of plans which they have in infrastructure projects.
Yes, so that will be very helpful. At least we can take up these concepts, at least in the, if we can help.
Yeah, we can do a couple of pilots, maybe, like to show what exactly is meant by you, and then maybe scale it up, because even I'm not sure what exactly you have in mind when
We
you
have
said.
done a couple of pilot projects, and there is now true examples already implemented. So if we can have an opportunity to interact with your team, I can.
Like I said, this is just the beginning. This is just the one call to reach out to the startups to know, let you know that there is an opportunity like this. So we definitely expect you to come back and let us know what can be done. So that's what Varun and his team at KSU would be doing in the days to come, maybe immediately after this.
Yeah, right now we are providing a solution for regional cancer center, and Indian Oil Corporation is supporting that. So
so we'll definitely look into it.
So on my next visit, if I can get a personal one-to-one meeting as you discussed before.
Sure, we'll set it up.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Jish. So moving on to the next question, we have Joseph Moniz. Joseph.
Hi, sir, am I audible?
Yeah, yes, please go ahead.
Good morning, sir. So my connection was a bit weak during the first slide part of this call, so I apologize if this is answered during then. But I noticed in your dashboard that you have quite a few things, including like environmental monitoring and things like that. So I just wanted to know what the extent and scope of your current solutions for IoT-based environmental monitoring or such similar solutions are, and because I'd like to know, if there's scope where we can provide additional value or things like that.
Whatever we have done as part of, I hope you saw the slides where we explained the infrastructure which we have set up, in the sense the integrated command control center and the software platform associated with it. But what I would like to highlight is that whatever we have done so far, the mandate of Smart City has been to do some few projects within an area. So we had to select a particular area within the city. So it covered 9 wards of Trivandrum Corporation. So 9 wards of Trivandrum Corporation had pilot locations, which acts as the lighthouse projects. So the environmental sensors which we have set up, I believe they are in 5 locations. Like 5 locations, they are now integrated to the dashboard. But that is just the initial phase. We are just more or less telling the city administration as well as the citizens and whoever is interested, the other stakeholders, that such a possibility exists in setting up technology-driven IoT-based solutions for sensing and getting the data. So whatever we have done is just the first phase. There is always not just territorially, if you look at it, just 9 wards out of 100 has been covered so far. But even technology wise, there might be better solutions available, and the scaling up of the existing mandate is definitely on the books. So yes, if you are a party engaged in such a solution, we'll definitely look forward to you coming and telling us what you would want to do with us.
Okay, thank you, sir. Like, to be more specific, we are involved in IoT-based environmental awareness and environmental sensing solutions, specifically with indigenously developed sensors. So I just wanted to know if there was an opening for that in this stack. So if I'm understanding correctly, we would be able to apply for that.
Yes, it is there definitely. But one more thing, like I had mentioned in the presentation, we would want all the solutions to be compatible with whatever we have developed so far, not just the software part, but the servers which we have set up and the command control center which we have set up. We need to utilize that backbone as part of the entire network. So that should be something.
Yeah, I think we should be able to work with that. We'll see about sending forward a proposal.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. Moving on to the next question. Reason Sudish. Okay. You are now permitted to talk. Please go.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I am Malayalam സംസാരിക്കുന്നതുകൊണ്ട്.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. സാറേ, ഞാൻ ഒരു സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് ആണ്. നമ്മുടെ വാട്ടർ അതോറിറ്റി ആയിട്ട് ചെറിയ വർക്കുകൾ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് ഈ സ്മാർട്ട് സിറ്റി, തിരുവനന്തപുരം സിറ്റിയിൽ ഞാൻ കൂടുതലായിട്ട് യാത്ര ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ അതിൽ നിന്നും മനസ്സിലായതാണ് ഒരു കോമൺ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു പ്രോബ്ലം ആണ്. എന്താന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ, നമ്മുടെ ഈ റോഡിന്റെ വർക്ക് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഇതേപോലെ റോഡ് പൊളിച്ചിട്ട് വീണ്ടും വാട്ടർ ലൈനും മറ്റ് അണ്ടർഗ്രൗണ്ട് ലൈനുകൾ ഇടുന്ന ഒരു സ്ഥിതി കാണുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ അതിനു വേണ്ടി ഒരു പെർമനന്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഒരു ഡക്റ്റ് സിസ്റ്റം ഈ റോഡ് നെറ്റ്വർക്കിന്റെ കൂടെ തന്നെ ചെയ്യുന്നത് കൊണ്ടുള്ള ആ ഒരു രണ്ടാമത് റോഡ് പൊളിച്ച് ചെയ്യുന്നതിൽ നിന്നും ഒരു പ്രശ്നം സോൾവ് ചെയ്യും എന്നുള്ളൊരു തോന്നലുണ്ടായി. അപ്പൊ അത് ഒന്ന് അഡ്രസ്സ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി സ്മാർട്ട് സിറ്റിയുടെ ഒരു ഇതിലേക്ക് വന്നതാണ്.
റീസൺ. സോ എന്റെ ജനറൽ മാനേജർ കൂടുതൽ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് പറയും. പക്ഷേ ലൈക്ക് നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യുന്ന പ്രൊജക്ടുകൾ, ഇപ്പോൾ ട്രിവാൻഡ്രത്ത് താമസിക്കുന്നവർക്ക് അറിയാം, റോഡ് പ്രൊജക്ടുകൾ എടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതിൽ സ്മാർട്ട് റോഡ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന കൺസെപ്റ്റ് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത് തന്നെ ഈ കോമൺ ഡക്ട് ഇട്ട് ഫർദർ ഏത് യൂട്ടിലിറ്റി സർവീസിനും അത് റോഡ് പൊളിക്കാതെ ചെയ്യണമെന്നുള്ളതാണ്. പക്ഷെ അതിൽ 1-2 കൺസ്ട്രെയിൻസ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ചലഞ്ചസ് ഉണ്ട്. ഒന്ന്, ഫസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ഓൾ നമ്മൾ ഐഡന്റിഫൈ ചെയ്ത റോഡുകൾ നമ്മൾ വർക്ക് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. സോ അതിനുശേഷം മേ ബി ഫണ്ടിങ് മൈറ്റ് നോട്ട് കം. അതിന് കൂടുതൽ റോഡുകൾ എടുക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി നമ്മൾ ഐഡന്റിഫൈ ചെയ്ത റോഡുകളിലേക്ക് മാത്രമാണ് നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ ശ്രദ്ധ കേന്ദ്രീകരിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്. 2, ചെയ്ത റോഡുകളിൽ തന്നെ കോൺട്രാക്ച്വൽ ഇഷ്യൂസ്, അത് ചെയ്യുന്ന കോൺട്രാക്ടർമാർക്ക് അതിന്റെ കപ്പാസിറ്റി ഇല്ല എന്നുള്ള ഒരു പ്രശ്നം നമ്മൾ കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. ട്രിവാൻഡ്രം പോലെ ഒരു പഴയ സിറ്റിയിൽ നമ്മൾ പൊളിച്ചു വരുമ്പോൾ റോഡിന്റെ അടിയിൽ കിട്ടുന്ന പല രീതിയിലുള്ള യൂട്ടിലിറ്റി ലൈൻ എല്ലാം ഉണ്ട്. അത് ടൈം ബൗണ്ട് ആയിട്ട് ചെയ്ത് തീർക്കുക എന്നുള്ളൊരു ഇഷ്യൂ കൂടിയുണ്ട്. സോ GM വിൽ കൂടുതൽ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് പറയും.
ഹലോ
ഹലോ സർ.
റീസൺ പറഞ്ഞത് കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് ഞങ്ങൾ ഉൾക്കൊള്ളുന്നു. പക്ഷെ അതിന്റെ ഒരു അസോസിയേറ്റ് പ്രോബ്ലം ഈസ് നമ്മുടെ റോഡ്സിന്റെ ഒക്കെ അണ്ടർഗ്രൗണ്ടിലെ KWAയുടെ ഒരു പമ്പിംഗ് ലൈൻ കാണും, സർവീസ് ലൈൻസ് കാണും, പഴയ ഡിസ്കാർഡ് ലൈൻസ് കാണും, ഒത്തിരി ലൈൻസ് കാണും. സോ വാട്ട് വി തോട്ട് അബൌട്ട് എൻറ്റയർ അണ്ടർഗ്രൗണ്ട് ലൈൻസ് റീപ്ലേസ് ചെയ്യാന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ സബ്സ്റ്റാൻഷ്യലി ഹൈ. അത് നോർമലി ഒരു BMPC ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ അപ്രോക്സിമേറ്റ്ലി ഫോർ എ റോഡ് up to 75 lakhs from 1 crore ആണ് per kilometer cost for a 7.8 width. അതാണ് എൻ്റെ ഒരു റഫ് കോസ്റ്റ്. ബട്ട് വെൻ വി സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ഗോ ഫോർ ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുമ്പോൾ it cost me around 3 to 4 crores minimum. അപ്പൊ അത്രയും വയബിലിറ്റി, എക്കണോമിക് വയബിലിറ്റി വരുന്നില്ല. അത്രയും
ഓക്കെ സർ.
അതുകൊണ്ട് what we thought is that പമ്പിംഗ് ലൈൻസിലെ ഒരു once in 10 to 15 years നോർമലി നല്ലൊരു പമ്പിംഗ് ലൈൻ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അതിൽ ലീക്കേജ് ഉണ്ടാവില്ല, അണ്ടർഗ്രൗണ്ട് യൂട്ടിലിറ്റീസ് അത് കിടന്നാലും റോഡ് ഡാമേജ്ഡ് ആവില്ല. വേർ വി എൻകൗണ്ടർ ഈ പ്രോബ്ലം റോഡ് കട്ടിങ് വരുന്നത് സർവീസ് കണക്ഷൻസിലാണ്. യു മൈറ്റ് ബി നോയിങ് ഇറ്റ്.
അല്ല സാർ, ഇപ്പൊ പഴയ കിടക്കുന്ന ലൈനുകളുടെ വിട്ടിട്ട് നമ്മൾ റോഡിന്റെ കൺസ്ട്രക്ഷൻ ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് ഒരു ഡക്റ്റ് പുതുതായിട്ട് ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്ത് ഇനി വരുന്ന പുതുതായിട്ട് വരുന്ന ഇപ്പോ ഗ്യാസ് കണക്ഷനും എല്ലാം ഇപ്പൊ തിരുവനന്തപുരത്ത് ഗ്യാസ് കണക്ഷൻ ഉൾപ്പെടെ വരുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ അതെല്ലാം ഈ റോഡിന്റെ ഈ ഒരു സ്ട്രക്ചറിൽ മാറ്റം വരുത്തിക്കൊണ്ട് ഒരു ഡക്റ്റ് കൂടി ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് റോഡ് നമുക്ക് ചെയ്തുകൂടെ എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. പഴയതിന്
അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ ഇപ്പൊ 7.5 meter carriage way plus 3 meters of minimum footpath on either side plus duct width, we require ROW of minimum 17 to 20 meters for even for a 2-line carriage way. നിങ്ങളൊക്കെ 45 meters വേണമെന്ന് ഇൻസിസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. So when we thought that doing a duct is not economically viable besides technical viability. So നമ്മളിപ്പം ചെയ്യുന്ന പുതിയ റോഡ്സ് what we have monitored in my current CEO is that we took the decision to do the road surfacing and provide a corridor with interlock tiles. ആ ടൈൽസ് റീപ്ലേസ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് നിങ്ങളുടെ സർവീസ് ലൈൻസ് ഒക്കെ വി ആർ പ്രൊവൈഡിങ് റൈഡർ ലൈൻസ് ഓൾസോ. റൈഡർ ലൈൻസ് കൊടുക്കും. ആർക്കെങ്കിലും കണക്ഷൻ വേണമെങ്കിൽ ആ ഇന്റർലോക്ക് ടൈല് മാത്രം മാറ്റിയാൽ മതി. carriage may not be cut.
Thank you, sir.
That's the reason.
So as part of this discussion ഭാഗമായിട്ട് if any of the startups have a solution for this problem, this is actually a genuine issue. നമ്മൾ ഓരോ പ്രാവശ്യം റോഡ് വെട്ടിപ്പൊളിക്കേണ്ടി വരുന്നു, യൂട്ടിലിറ്റി ലൈൻസ് വലിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയുള്ളത്. പക്ഷെ any technology solution which is there based on some sort of civil or IT related solution is there, we would be happy to reach out to you and maybe incorporate that into our further projects.
Thank you, sir.
Reason one more thing, since you are associated with KWA, നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഈ IT ഉണ്ടോ?
എന്താ സാർ?
IT based ആയിട്ട്
അല്ലല്ല, വാട്ടർ അതോറിറ്റി ലൈസൻസ് ആണുള്ളത്.
വാട്ടർ അതോറിറ്റി ലൈസൻസ് ആണുള്ളത്.
അതെ 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 സാർ, ഓഡിയബിൾ അല്ല, കേൾക്കുന്നു. എന്താ സാർ? അതെ അതെ, കോൺട്രാക്ട് ലൈസൻസ് ആണ്.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Sir, final question. Biju Umman, you're having another question to ask? Hello, Biju.
Yes. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, please go.
Sir, sorry to interrupt again, sir. Just want to ask one more point. So, as you mentioned, we can either come up with an idea to propose, or even if that is the case, will we get sufficient time to work on that ideas after once it has been you find that it's feasible and economically viable? Or what is the timeline we can look at it then?
Yes, the timeline which we gave. So we expect by August to finalize the agencies and areas which we have identified, and maybe some sort of pilot phase can be rolled out. Adine testing we can do it in course of time. But if it is just an idea right now, it will obviously require more time to have a robust mature product. So we'll factor in that also. That is not an issue, but ultimately we want the solutions to be ready and ready to cater to the citizens as soon as possible. So August is our initial deadline. In case it requires more time to mature, we are willing to give that time also, depending on what you are proposing.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks for the clarification.
Thanks. So we have a few more questions in the Q&A. So one is, what do startups get other than opportunity fund?
Varun, I am not able to hear.
Yeah, so we have few more questions in the Q&A. So
Okay.
that is, what do startups get other than the opportunity, funding, resources, payments? That's one question.
Yeah, so that I think right now we don't want to get into details because each startup would want to have a different sort of engagement. We are not putting a very strict framework of what we actually want or like expect from each startup. So maybe one startup would want to have a user fee based model, somebody else would have something of a procurement model. So that depends on the service which they are providing. So we want to be right now we want to keep an open door for all startups who want to engage with startup mission as well as smart city to have a collaborative approach to solving the citizens problems. So further level of engagement which we have, we'll finalize the actual details of how we'll offer the payment, or whether we have to pay or we'll get paid or whatever.
Okay. So another question is the priority, or what's the need or priority of solution?
Yeah, so that is, I think, a very general question. I would just say that just think from the perspective of a city administrator, as in the mayor or a city corporation secretary who is there. Anything starting from the birth of a child to till the death of this person after he's 80 or 90 years old, and anything in between comes under the mandate of a city corporation. So anything, if you're a person who is living in a city from the day you are born to the day you are dead, that includes your marriage, the setting up of your business, maybe your kids going to school, the daily waste you are collecting from houses, the transport problems, pollution related problems, everything is a priority for city government. It is just that we have been doing these things for hundreds of years without any technology platform or backend to support it. But we are at a point where both government of India as well as state government and smart city mission is there to support the players who want to come in and make these solutions smarter. So everything is priority, but it depends on just the technical and the financial feasibility of it. As soon as we have such a feasible proposal, we'll definitely jump into executing that.
Okay, sir. So another question is from Mr. Nishan. So which cloud services would be using for hosting the applications? Is one question.
Cloud services for hosting the application. Okay, you can answer. Which cloud services are you using for hosting the application? Mike.
Nishant.
Yeah, Nishant.
Nishant, cloud services we will be using hosting the application. Which cloud service? That I said we have our own data center. We have our own servers in place. So as such, we are not depending on the third-party services. What we were planning to offer some of our storage space to the small startup vendors who are having an application which are we can consider enough to have to interact with this.
Okay. Then the question is, I think that answers. Yeah. So does is there any requirement in the field of agriculture, farming, or related fields?
Yeah, actually, we are very open when we discuss this. When we having an understanding with the startup mission, anything you can think of related with the Trivandrum and in and around Trivandrum. Suppose like roof gardening is another interesting concept. The anonymous attendee. Okay, if you have any bright ideas which can be extended to the citizens of Trivandrum, we are open for that.
Right. Amjad, shall I allow you to talk? Amjad.
Yeah, hello, hi.
Yeah, hi. Yeah,
hi.
I think you can ask the question.
Yeah, actually, I'm Amjad. I'm co-founder of PlaySports app. So PlaySports is a marketplace for sports grounds. Right now we have around 300 plus sports facilities taking booking online from Trivandrum city itself. We are leading marketplace in Kerala. So I would like to be part of the Smart City app so that citizens can book out and play the sports. Yeah.
That we can, I think that is easily doable. But please do send us the details of what service you have been running in the exact backend, how the operations run, and so that the interface gets seamlessly integrated. Yeah, so please reach out to us once you have the details from Startup Mission.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll be doing it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ankit. Thank you. So one more question is from Mr. Harikrishnan. Is there any scope for solar booking platform? So Harikrishnan, should I allow you to talk? I think you can.
If he's
give-
there, I would like to,
Yeah,
to know
yes,
what
sir.
he exactly means by
Yes.
solar booking.
Right. So Hari, you are now allowed to talk. So if you can ask the question.
Yeah, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
So basically ഇതൊരു ഓല യൂബോ സോളാർ എന്നുള്ള ഒരു കൺസെപ്റ്റ് ആണ്. ആളുകൾക്ക് ഫാസ്റ്റർ ആയിട്ട് സോളാർ ഇൻസ്റ്റോളേഷനും ബെറ്റർ സർവീസും കിട്ടാനുള്ള ഒരു പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോം.
So
ഓഡിയബിൾ ആണോ?
yeah, voice ഇടയ്ക്ക് break.
ഞാനൊരു നോയ്സി ഏരിയയിലാണ് നിൽക്കുന്നത്, അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഞാൻ.
Okay, okay. But you your company is providing a service, the solar panels installation ഉള്ള ബുക്കിംഗ് അങ്ങനെയാണോ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്?
അതെ, സോളാർ ഇൻസ്റ്റോളേഷനും ആഫ്റ്റർ സെയിൽ സർവീസിന്റെ ഒരു ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ മൾട്ടിപ്പിൾ വെൻഡേഴ്സിനെ യൂസ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഏറ്റവും ഫാസ്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് നമുക്ക് ഇൻസ്റ്റോളേഷൻ ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഒരു ജസ്റ്റ് ലൈക്ക് ഓല ടാക്സി ഒക്കെ ബുക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്ന പോലെ തന്നെ നമുക്ക് സോളാറിന്റെ പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോംസ്.
So right now അതിന്റെ like what is the volume you are getting per month, or is there a huge demand?
ആക്ച്വലി സർ, നമ്മൾ ആ ഒരു ഫസ്റ്റ് ഫേസ് പുഷ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള വർക്ക് കഴിഞ്ഞതേ ഉള്ളൂ, നമ്മൾ പുഷ് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല. അപ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റി കണ്ടപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ ചോദിച്ചതാണ് എന്ത് സ്കോപ്പ് ഉണ്ട്.
I mean, we are again, we would like to reiterate either every idea is open. We would like to discuss more, but we need the details right now. This platform we won't be able to share the details because a lot of participants are
ആക്ച്വലി നമ്മള് KCBയുടെ സൗര പ്രോജക്റ്റിൽ ഒരു കമ്പനിക്ക് വേണ്ടി നമ്മൾ എക്സിക്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്ത് കൊടുത്താണ്. 24 പ്രോജക്ട്സ് വെറും 4 ഡേയ്സിനുള്ളിൽ നമുക്ക് എക്സിക്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്ത് കൊടുക്കാൻ പറ്റി. അത് വിത്ത് എല്ലാ ക്വാളിറ്റി കൺട്രോളും മെഷർമെന്റ്സ് എല്ലാം വെച്ചിട്ട് തന്നെയാണ് നമ്മൾ.
So private sector there will be lot of demand. We can maybe have a third party who's doing it. പക്ഷേ we'll discuss when we we'll discuss in our office or whenever we are having a common meeting. ആ സമയത്ത് details we'll discuss. Anyway, I think it can be done. I don't think there is an issue.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Harikrishnan. So Mr. Santosh has asked, what is the name of the parking app?
It's called Parkit. I mean, yeah,
Parkit.
It is still under testing, so probably won't be available on the app as of now. It's called Parkit.
Right. Okay, then one more question is, I'm representing iNote Technologies. We are providing chatbot solutions to customer support. Is there any opportunity or requirement for that? The chatbots.
Yeah, I think this is something which other cities have been exploring, other departments have been exploring, but my only concern is how much is the amount which is be required to be spent on this, because chatbots are definitely useful for citizens to engage with the corporation, citizen, the delivery aspect, service delivery aspect. There might be a lot of grievances or queries which they need to clear, which might get cleared quicker through a chatbot. But the cost we need to work out on how many, the volume which is likely to come in, and what is the amount required and all that, or maybe some advertisement is possible during the chatbot. We'll have to work out. So definitely they would please reach out to us with the details.
Okay. So final question is, what happens if we come up with an idea? Will this idea be shared to other startups to get better commercial budget price?
I'm not sure like what this question means, but we from our end we won't be sharing it with any startup. But thing is like what we expect is startups to come up with solutions who they themselves can execute. But if at some point we realize that probably there may requires multiple players or a partnership between startups, we'll leave it up to you to collaborate with other players and come up with a joint venture or something to solve the issue which you have identified. So from our end, I don't think we'll be doing anything sort of an IP sharing with somebody else.
Yes. So I think we have answered all the questions. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for spending about 1.5 hours time with the startups and detailing about the opportunities and answering all the questions. So as mentioned earlier, so we'll be circulating the application for submission of the ideas, it could be a solution or a product. So that will be circulated by today itself. And based on the applications that we received, that we'll be sharing that with SmartCity as well.
Okay. Thank you, Varun. Thank you to all
so
the
much,
participants for the active participation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, the entire startup, SmartCity team. Thank you all for joining. Thank you so much.